It's been 2 hours. Turns out my nose is just congested. I'm suffocating on my own boogers. November 9th. What does that relate to Inco? It's the 19th. Still the same day? It's autumn. 11 in the morning. So it's 2 hours later. It's been a while thinking about the question my therapist, Megan, asked. She moving her tail from side to side while keeping her notebook in her lap. What is the statement? This is what in English we like to call a fragmentary sentence, in that you're not saying anything. Like, there's a subject missing here. She was... I guess that makes sense if you're translating from Spanish, because, again, they don't have pronouns for all situations. But that's so weird, man. You got it right in so many other sentences. That's how you start every fucking paragraph with a pronoun nowadays. I. It's all about me. Again, you can just say having arrived a little early to my appointment. Or saying, unfortunately, I arrived a little late for... I don't know, you can just fucking add a dash of color. Add a little spice, a little spritz. Although luckily Randy had given me a ride in his car. He's gonna take you for a ride. Eric told me that I wanted to go to the end for the rest of the week. Trial tomorrow? How's the trial How the fuck's the trial tomorrow? Hold up. The trial was scheduled for November 20th. Why am I getting so mixed up? I guess I wasn't paying attention to the dates. Oh, it was going to be in a few weeks. It was in a few. I'm so mixed up. I'm so mixed up! Tomorrow is trial. Time to go to jail, baby! Also, whose trial is it? I know it's been, like, the trial, but isn't there also, like, a trial for Olivia? I mean, I guess he's not pressing charges, but I still feel like violent assault should, like, warrant something. You can't just claw a man and shove him downstairs, and then the cops are like, it's fine. That feels weird to me. You can just shove that under the rug. Like, at the very least, clearing attempted murder. I mean, I guess that's what the investigation's with. It just feels weird, man. Where were we? Play with the ring Inco gave me while I thought a southern answer. Just sell the ring, Olivia. Buy a cool new tablet with it. I should buy a cool new tablet. That'll make you feel to see Inco again. I certainly feared doubt. What are you gonna feelings? I don't like this. I don't like how she says this. Olivia should not be this eloquent. I feel like if you're actually gonna do a therapy scene, have your character be really bad at it, right? Have Olivia stumble over her words because she's not eloquent. She's not a talker. She's a painter. Have the therapist be like, oh, sure. Explain it in painting feelings. Regret? You think that's a fucking positive thing? Yeah, but it's a regret for what I did. What would I become then? No, what would you have become? Like, you're already it. You're, like, talking about hypotheticals. Although I guess the point is, like, if I didn't show regret, what would I have become in that scenario? I guess that's more what she's trying to say. I still feel what would I have become feels a bit more logical. But, you know, there's always a room for personal touches. Not everything is 100% correct answer. Megan Smealed. I like that point of view. I don't feel like a doctor should encourage you to have regret. Not really a therapist. I think a therapist should tell you. It's a cute angle, at least. Oh, man. Looked at the ring, his condition, seeing his car, difficulty breathing. Man, looking at Inco made me feel so bad. I felt so sad. She kissed him. His mouth tasted like alcohol, something strong. And since I'm such a booze hound, I just couldn't get my lips off of him. Smiling as she closed the notebook. It was only for a moment. And to be fair, you probably knew that my mouth tasted like wine. I had to have a couple of drinks before going to see him. I didn't want to cry like a dummy. So, let's be clear, you were both drunk. I feel like, again, I feel like a lot of these medical experts are, like, kind of lackadaisical to what they're really doing. Was the guys with a long kiss or not? I feel like your doctor's being a little unprofessional here. Is that just a thing in, like, Mexico or America? Because I've talked to psychologists, and they're not this jokey about, like, fairly important emotional moments, right? It's way more about helping you find out things about yourself than being like, ha, that's so funny. Like, with Eric, I can kind of get it, because cops are not trained to be like that, but... I don't know. It feels very casual for someone that... How long have you been seeing her? Like, a couple of weeks at most? No, you can get a good bit of headway if you actually put into effort. Although I feel like Olivia would be the kind of person whose first few sessions would be extremely frustrating. Because A, she's not very good with her words, and 2, equally importantly, she's kind of a bitch. Especially need to. I responded to look away. No, you responded by looking away. By looking away. To say the day was becoming cloudy. It's such a... Again, it's slightly askew phrasing, which I think is just Spanish not translating cleanly. Didn't ring a bell, damn it. It's considering how much it's been fucking raining, right? And we just got a compliment from it. Oh, it's finally dry again. It really feels like Volcaldera Bluffs is just 90% rain, right? There are no sunny days in fucking California. Like, remember, it's in Dinofordia. We're in Southern California. That's where they are. Why is it so rainy here? Why is it so cold? Why does it snow? Get that rocket power ass episode out of here. That was El Nino. No, it told me enough. Sorry. Which ended our short date. Why are you so jokey about your fucking psychiatrist? This is not what you're like, Olivia. Anon would do this, because Anon's a snarky asshole who's vanished up his own asshole. You are currently extremely remorseful about having basically assaulted and nearly murdering your husband. Why are you so chill? This is not your coping mechanism. Your coping mechanism is being a depressing, melodramatic idiot. Oh, she has to hurl herself back into the chair. I probably continue talking. I don't know. There's a good reason you want to put your characters in therapy if you can help it. Similar to like killing your characters. It's one of those things that like doesn't really pay off unless you know exactly what you're going to do with it. She accompanied me out, and after saying goodbye, she went back into her office. I began to roll silently through the hallways towards the elevatoire. Being in there always made me remember moments with him. Most of them were in our classes, in our last weeks there. I mean, I know it's only been like 3 years, so they probably would remember how they met. Oh, man, I feel like after 3 years of living together, your high school memories would be the kind of stuff you remember when things are really bad. Which is kind of the point. We're kissing like we'd never done it before. The elevator and then the time change. The time change. What the fuck do you mean, the time change? When we went into the time teleporter. I started early March, which went to become cloudy season for me. Estrus season. Personally, I would... So, if you're like paralyzed low enough that it affects your abdomen. No, that's nerve endings. That has nothing to do with like your hormonal balance, which is like what this stuff actually comes down to. I try to avoid them as much as possible between the end of March. That's a really weird period for estrus season. Is Valentine the beginning of estrus season? That'd be kind of cute. There's some world building right there. Ba-boom. His angry face and angry voice shockingly put me into that mood. Man, I love it when my husband threatens to attack me. I love violent domestic assault. Rawr. Now, where were we? Is she musing about her tail? Katie played my kill quite a bit. Why are we talking about her tail? I'm sure it's not even involved like the accident or anything. Not that I'm against it, but I don't see why like immediately after therapy is like the best point to talk about this. Although so far this chapter hasn't exactly been on a complete mess, so hey, at least we're on the upside of bad. We want to bite him in a loving way, you know. You know, we express our love through domestic abuse, and your psychiatrist like, what the fuck? What? I cleared my throat as I tried to wipe the blush from my cheek. I know exactly what she's doing. Like, way too many things happening at once. Just to, like, pretend nothing's happening. I walk up a side that's shooting the elevator floor with it. Stop, Olivia! That's mean! Or rub all your ugh on it. I got out of the elevator, walked straight out. Actually, I just realized, like, with the tail and everything, she'd probably have to, like, hold it up the whole damn time. Because someone, like... Fang, right? Their tail just kind of dangles and doesn't actually hit the floor. But with Olivia and the chair, I imagine her tail is like constantly dragging on the floor if she doesn't raise it up. Calming my tail before breaking someone's leg with it. I was about to say, like, is your tail an independent organ? I'm like, oh yeah, if you wag it, you might trip someone. I don't think you'd break someone's leg, though. Again, if you can break someone's leg and one claw can tear their face open, how are these people street legal? Also, No. Her claws, no. Her tail is used constantly. It's implied she uses it to get around a lot. Like how she curls and stuff. So I can imagine it's actually pretty well exercised. It's got that to it. I don't know if sweeping it is the same. As someone who's actually like doing exercises, there are certain situations where like, oh, I've exercised my arms. Like, no. You need to add a different set of reps because the ones you're doing don't work that way, you know? Like, sure, you can do that 100 times, but the other one you can only do 10, and you're like, ah! It's funny. When I looked up, Damien was in front of me. Aren't you gonna look up while looking up? Oh my god, it's still like in the backlogs. Damien, I responded in a dry tone, like a dry wine, because I keep thinking about alcohol because my husband keeps drinking bourbon and whiskey. Dad told me to take you home. Wasn't that the fucking plan like 2 months ago? I can go alone, Damien. I bet you're around to continue on my way. I felt him begin to follow behind me. He's probably like trying to grab your tail. A back car a few streets ahead. Let a low growl, began wagging my tail to calm myself. I don't think that's how that works. I think your tail is like an extension of your emotions, not a means to express them in that way, you know? Not a thing to get it out. Tried to follow the advice of Dr. Megan, my therapist. We just met her. You don't have to explain this. Use one of the two titles. Only let out a sigh to relax. I don't think that's how that works. You're supposed to count to 10, close your eyes, let it go. That was true that I was angry with him. I decided to say something to follow his route. I want to get home as soon as possible and let it go to group therapy. But with my subway, I wouldn't arrive in time to... poor lady. The small river island to reach his car, opening the door for me. I just help. Stare. Why did I go started? I started my... Because I've seen writing, right, where stare gets typoed as started, and it makes me giggle every time. And I was hoping for it, I guess. Elena was happy to see that I wanted to receive the extra elbow and accept the occasional interview. Oh, so you got a little nudge, you mean? I imagine that's like a matter of phrasing, speech that's not translated properly. Or maybe it's English and I just don't know of it. That's also entirely plausible. It disgusted me that they treated me like I was a fairground monkey. I mean, yeah, that's like your entire generational trauma. Not generational, but it is the trauma that she's dealing with. Is that she's basically made her own world miserable because she felt that she's not treated the way she wants to be treated, but she doesn't actually care to do anything about it but mope and be an angry bitch, you know? Like, I get what she wants, but surely you understand to some extent that there's like a transactionality to certain types of engagements. Interviewers do not come to you because they just want to interview you. To some extent, there is the transactionality of like, it's an article, it's got to get published, it needs to get Olivia, you are literally an influencer for your own art, you need to understand that. And if you don't want it, cool, but don't get mad. Do your research, get an agent. Look up YouTubers. They won't shut up about how they got ancients, and it's like, oh man, I thought honey was a great deal in the market, but I was like, I don't trust them. No, it's a graph, you know. You know, I've been kissed. Damien has smiled at my word. I mean, he did send... I mean, Liz was there, like, pretty much right before Olivia showed up. I would like to say this is all, like, meh in terms of phrasing. It's a little messy. And also, Damien keeps being called Damien. Instead of, you know... It's just very messily written. Also, everything is a new fucking line. And I would like to point out, I edit out the new lines, right? I edit the HTML so all the extra paragraphs are gone. This shit is extremely rarefied. Like, zero density applies. Me and I hugged and kissed. I feel like kissed and hug works better. I don't know why. It's one of those weird things. Also, I really don't like... Is this... I feel like we hugged and kissed works a lot better because it's like, it's a double and, right? Maybe put a little ellipses here. Maybe make this we. Maybe go we hugged, and then like, oh, you know, we kissed. You know, make it say something about Olivia. Like, is she ashamed of it? Surely she has some. If she's guilty about it, then surely it would be hard for her to say. But no. But it was more like a goodbye. Change. He asked me if I've been unfaithful to him. I mean, I would like to point out, this is like a really good indicator of where things are really going. Because, like, if you're trying to make up with someone and his question is like, hey, did you cheat on me? It's like, no, I'm trying to borrow. It's like, no, I need to know this. It says a lot. Time his fingers on the steering wheel. Because it would have got, oh, man. I want to explain everything that happened. Nothing happened between him and me. It's just that I found someone who didn't seem to support me out of mere pity, and... Yeah, I appreciate that Damien is, like, accurate. That is kind of his character, to be absorbent to this kind of stuff, but he's right. Like, really, Olivia is like, no. But I kind of get where she's coming from. Because to some extent, while Inko is offering support, Inko is someone she knows. She has this relationship and rapport. They both knew Iyada-kan. To an extent, things are rocky, and it feels, it doesn't feel serious anymore. And Inko is like, why didn't you just take the interview? You're in a wheelchair, but, you should still do it. That kind of stuff. So, obviously, she would look for someone who doesn't have that baggage associated. Just straightforward, simple stuff. Doesn't even have to be anything more than that. I imagine that for Oliver, it was... Also, I find it fascinating that Oliver doesn't really get brought up in this, right? There is something to be said for the fact that Oliver gets excluded out of his own conversations. But Eric gets to just jump into things. I mean, again, it's probably because Inko has, like, nobody else left in his life. Nobody says you could sell it. Bullshit, I want to sell it. I don't think holding on to the like, engagement ring from your ex is a smart idea. Especially since you were, like, what, 19? I took the little overlay with it a little, taking a spirit out of my pocket. It's a genie, Olivia, not a spirit. Gosh, you don't know anything. I don't like everything to be fixed with what you're figure, but I think it would have worked. What do you mean by that? You think that even if you weren't stupid enough to throw in the ring, our thing wouldn't have worked? Screw you, Damien. I mean, that's a fair assessment. You're allowed to tell him to go fuck himself. So even if you could keep your fucking hands in your pockets and not throw my fucking ring away, you're still doubtful? Come on! Olivia doesn't mean very much. No one other than Inko was ready to get married, and he was terrified of that, much less to become his parents. You don't have to have kids when you get married. You can just wait on that for a little while. Let him work out his generational trauma. And that one is actually generational trauma, because it is from parents to children. And he's trying to avoid it. He's only marry you, start a family. Like, why does everyone keep hamming on this? Like, did these people not play Ending 4 and see the little epilogue? Like, it's very strongly implied, right, that they are not having a kid yet. They didn't even get married until, like, several years later. It's Liz and Damien that got into it, almost certainly because Damien's a fucking idiot and couldn't put a condom on if he told him how. As for Liz, I don't get it. I feel like Liz is way more into delaying having a child for a variety of reasons. I feel like Liz has way too much she wants to do before she ties herself down to a child getting in the way of her apprenticeships and her college degrees and whatever else she has in mind. Even seem forced to do it in a strange way. If that's intentional, like if that's intentionally referencing the fact that an ending to Inko is kind of cowed, that's clever. But I'm a little dry on easy credits today. You don't understand! Of course you had a doubt, so more than anyone. Those who generally enjoyed each other felt alive. They're like a first days together. Weren't your first days together like really weird and awkward? I mean, I guess maybe referring to the first few days where you were like open with each other and you flattened him with your fat ass. I still twitched unconsciously as I thought about those days. How would you know if it's unconscious? That's all I'm saying. I feel like subconsciously works better. Or maybe like reflexively. Ones I remember enjoying the most were before our fight at the winter formal. I still can't breathe, by the way. I don't know what it is. I remember the ones where I went too hard on them. The moments where I thought I was right. This isn't ending one. Get out of here. Did you both hold hands while fucking? Again, this is why you need to stop doing this bullshit where you put descriptive text that clearly belongs with a spoken word on different lines. Like, I was like, I know it's Damien, but there's nothing that implies that after this it's going to be Damien, right? And you can be fooled for half the lines. The problem. Holy shit, I can't fucking breathe. Oh. I mean, I can breathe fine. It's just I can't breathe and talk. Where were we? I need a drink. Look, I regret many things that happened that day. I regret the words I said, my actions, and my thoughts at the moment. But I regret having done what I did. I wanted to protect you. To avoid there be some kind of toxic relationship in the future, or worse. But you apologized to me for that yourself. How hypocritical can you be? What? I feel like this is one of those situations where language barriers fuck shit up real bad. But you apologized to me for that yourself. Oh, wait. Is the point that he's trying to apologize for Inko being a toxic relationship? Why would that be? Oh man, I'm just kind of lost. Sorry. I feel like you're trying to write a sentence that is either beyond me or beyond you. In either case, no landing. Plainest holding pattern. Holding pattern. Call them whatever you want. Throw me at the local cartels. Jesus fucking Christ. In America, they're called gangs or the mafia. Americans do not concern themselves with cartels. It's a Mexican thing. This is a cultural border, but I know why he does it, and I know why it didn't get translated. Although the fact that it's carteles is weird, because I'm pretty sure that in English it would be cartels, which is, again, really weird that it doesn't translate it, because I'm pretty fucking sure that that's just a word you can translate. Oh, I have a little blame for this. He looked at his hand, somewhat damaged, trying to look for the ring. He dug around in the yard. What the fuck did he do? How would that hurt your hand? I mean, I guess if you're an idiot. You're not using like a little trowel or one of those dibbers or one of those little forked plow things. And you're just like digging in with your bare hands like an idiot. Man should have taken a sieve. And I was getting confused after that argument. I even tried to drink some to get out of my head, but this time she would leave me if I did. I've noticed that this fic, right, has had a lot of alcohol in it. Like, Eric drinks, Damien's talking about drinking, Olivia drinks, Inko drinks, which is weird because the original stories don't do anything with drinking. Neither Snoot Game nor Wani actually ever really addressed drinking. I don't even know if Anon drinks in any of the endings. Maybe ending 4, like, at the reunion? Maybe at like, I don't know, but, like, it's not a major thing, it's people's alcoholic tendencies. Like, I'm fine with it, but it feels weird that everyone seems to have a drug story to bring up. And I know some people are like, alcohol isn't drugs. It is drugs. You drink it to feel better. It's a chemical. It alters the mind. The fact that it's culturally accepted doesn't change the fact that it's a drug. You don't drink it because it's nutritious. It apparently contains a ridiculous amount of calories. At least beer does. I don't know about whiskey. Might be less since it's just ethanol, which is different. Is it different? Technically, ethanol is hydrocarbonate. I don't know, man. Shit's weird. Its mouth smelled like alcohol. First off, again, I'm pretty sure someone's mouth smells of alcohol. Secondly, everyone keeps bringing this shit up. Like, you just talked to your therapist about this. Why do you keep doing this? Where you're like, have a conversation. They have that same conversation with someone else. Fuck off. At least put some separative text between these two and have the conversation be like meaningfully different. Me too, I noted it. Get that Inko noted shit out of here. You can't title drop everyone else's better fix. Also, please remember, every fucking paragraph just starts with proper nouns and pronouns. Ugh. I've had some wine to calm that sour feeling I felt every day. Like, you people are medicating like you're on fucking heroin. I gotta take my edge off. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I feel more confused every time I think about it. I would like to talk one more time with him in the moonlight while we have a drink. Always seemed gay to me. That's a really weird thing for anyone to say. Oh, this is actually Damien bringing it up, and then she brings it up. Again, I'm a little lost because the writing is a bit flimsy, but I kind of like how it seems like everyone just figured out that Inko has alcohol, right? Liz probably figured it out. Like, it's not a secret. His doctor figured it out. Damien figured it out. I'm sure Finny probably noticed something. And again, Inko's like, I'm gonna pick up alcoholism. And it's like, it doesn't work. Also, why would you say it's gay? You're dating a man. I know he's a bit of a soft pudding boy, but it doesn't change anything. Yeah, no, he still loves you. I just doubt he will be able to forgive you for what you did until all the emotional wounds have healed. Can they heal, though? Like, wounds can scar. And they're not really healed, are they? They can hurt forever and never, you know. Even though that you forgive me for what I did. But we can help by giving him a hand in the trial. It's the least we can do. Again, I don't really know if Olivia's word's gonna mean much, considering she abused him. It makes her very messy. Rose said to him, I promise that I will improve. I'll be someone worthwhile. That was the last chapter. I mean, we're halfway through this one, so fair enough. You're allowed to repeat it, I guess. I mean, to be honest, these 10,000 word fucking chapters are way too long anyway, so... softly. Like, maybe you should just have this. Or just have this. Like, your sentence is basically repeating itself. You might say, no, this isn't a repetition. It's like, this is what she means, and this is what it is. Yeah, but, like, you can either have this be here, and it's like, oh, it's a memory. Or this, and be like, I remember what she said. Like, you're not leaving any space for your reader to be imaginative or feel clever. You're just like, well, I have to improve and be someone worthwhile. As Eric says, leave a mark. I don't know if that makes sense. The marks you leave on people don't necessarily require big gestures. I think the best mark you can leave is just to be a nice person to people. As Snoot Game often rattles on, support people, right? Help them build their lives better. Man, I wish my lungs, my nostrils would open them. What happened to him? I thought I would take it to therapy these days. I make the notes you always make. Oh, it gets to attend therapy? I mean, thinking about it, right, I personally, I feel like this kind of violates some sort of psychiatrist trust, right? Like, your psychiatrist isn't supposed to share stuff with people willy-nilly. I think I remember, like, I guess from like a certain perspective, if you're there on a court order, I can imagine that her reports can be requested, because they're kind of like part of the evidentiary part. But I also imagine, like, you know, maybe a cop could attend. I think that kind of contaminates the whole situation, and to me that reduces the legitimacy of the outcome, you know, that kind of stuff. Oh no, man, I'm just a little man. I'm just a little man. Just a fella. Just a little dumpling. Dude, this map sucks. Ooh. How would that work? Safi, are you looking at maps again? Safi, please don't tell me you're looking at a map again. I'm just looking at a map. Just looking at maps. Planning out a little trip for later. I could go down there, but that's like a big... It'd be fun though, big walk. Oh, I could take a whole different route too. I don't know if that's like pedestrian doable though, but it'd be fun. A whole different little walkaloo. Visit a new town. Man, I wonder if that woman is still alive. Jesus Christ, it's been easily 20 years since I've seen her. She might be dead. She looked in her 60s when I saw her last. She might just straight up be dead. What a weird thought. Actually, that's a terrifying thought, isn't it? You're like, I'm old enough that some people I knew in my youth are almost certainly just gone. Actually, that would also include a babysitter, too. Man, there were a lot of old people back then that were involved in my life as babysitter therapists. Holy shit, I have half forgotten memory. If you want to know how long it's been since I've been a smartass, I vaguely remember being on the back of a bike and it falling over while it being a little smartass. And the time we had to rush across a bridge because it was closing up. Jesus, man. Old man history. Whatever happened to Eric? He told me he couldn't be there. Couldn't give more detail. The guy. When the guy ran to realize there was going to be... decided to take me in the vehicle and let me to my wheelchair. They were in the car. Who fucking cares? You should talk to Mom and Dad. They are not to blame for this. If I have to say myself, I think Eric has realized that he's neglected his kids, and he's, you know, he applied Inko's knowledge, and now he's realized, oh, it's bad. I should do something. But I feel hurt because they hid Inko's ring for me. What do you mean? I thought you found the ring in the garden. Like, you had to dig it up. Let me stop talking about this, Damien. I mean, admittedly, you've done a lot of talking already. I personally don't want to talk to anyone when I'm done with whatever psychological thing I'm doing that day. I visited a therapist. I'm like, bitch, I have 2 other people to talk about the exact same thing today. It never stops. It never ends. It's like a court case, but you have multiple dates on the same day. Anyway, we're going places. So they had a fun little talk. They caught up. I'm going to say what I said 1,000 times. You don't have to repeat conversations to transfer information between characters. You can just have the character be like, I talked to Damien about our conversation. I pointed out how Inko had alcohol on his breath, how I was upset about X, Y, Z, etc. You can just summarize that shit. You don't have to write it all out. If anything, don't. Your fucking fic is big enough as is. Trim it. Cut those legs off below the knees. Bam! 2 feet shorter.